This episode of S&W Experience Reviews will be reviewing the 2023 Royal Rumble. Whew, so much to say. I'm not even gonna bother with the non-spoiler version, man. If you checking out reviews for it, okay, I'm gonna give it just a little bit and then I'm gonna cut out and so you can examine. Okay. The women's match was beyond awesome. The right woman won. The men's match was pretty good. The right guy won. There were spots in there that were pretty cool. There were, some surprises in the women's matches. There were epic moments in both matches. It was definitely an improvement from last year's. The lights out match was visually stunning. Aesthetically pleasing. Wasn't what I expected, but I liked it. And the Raw Women's match, kind of disappointed. It wasn't a bad match. No, it was a lot like Shinsuke Nakamura and AJ Styles at WrestleMania because it was a match that you thought would be this and it turned out to be that, which wasn't bad but still okay. And the match between Roman Reigns and Kevin Owens it was good, but it's really what happened after the match that's main draw. So, without further ado, here's my rating for you know what? I'll save that for the end, alright? Check it out. This has been the end of the non-spoiler section of the S&W Reviews. Here is the spoiler section in 3, 2, 1. Yes, this is the S&W Experience Reviews. The non-spoiler review is over. This is not the spoiler review of the 2023 Royal Rumble. So right out of the gate, people. Right out of the fucking gates. The men's Royal Rumble. First match on the card. I give it a solid 8.5 out of 10. The right man won. There was a mid-air collision between Ricochet and Logan Paul when they both springboard off the rope right into each other in the air. It was fucking hilarious, man. It was a car crash in mid-air. Oh, shit. Logan Paul returning was dope. Then I was like, oh, shit. Hey, Logan Paul's back. At the spot when he comes into the ring and he's like his usual self and all the wrestlers just look at him and they all jump him. I love that shit. Oh shit, that was good. That made me laugh, man. That honestly made me laugh. That was a good spot. The match started with 1 and 2, Sheamus and Gunther, which was a good start. That's one way to start your match. Sheamus and Gunther, the two guys who beat the brakes off each other until everyone else starts coming in. That's the first two guys in the Royal Rumble are the guys you want sticking around the longest. Because they'll be sticking around the longest. They have to carry the match until we get to like double digits and shit. And like the bigger names start filling in. That's when everyone starts to go. And in the Royal Rumble, apparently the first guy eliminated was The Miz. I'm like, okay. And it took a while before anyone else was eliminated. So he was the first guy eliminated for a while, man. I think even Michael Cole brought that shit up. Pat McAfee came back on commentary. That was dope, man. It was nice to see Pat, man. Always nice. And it's a break from the norm. The norm, which was having Jerry Lawler come back to do commentary. I don't hate Jerry Lawler. I really do. I like him coming back to do commentary. He's really good at his commentary when he's not cracking his corny jokes. I mean, like, Jesus, dude. Give it a rest. You are not a comedian, man. You are not Andy Kaufman. You wrestled him. Like, that shit doesn't rub off, man. Fucking comedic timing isn't something that rubs off during a match. Like, shit. This match had not a lot going on. The last year's had a few surprise entrants, had a few people we didn't expect, like your Bad Bunny, Shane O'Mac, and the controversy that came with him. But this match had Edge returned. Yeah, he returned. When the Judgment Day was in the ring, he returned to get his revenge on them. eliminated Finn, eliminated Priest, only to get eliminated by them. Then a brawl ensued between him and the members of Judgment Day. For Rhea Ripley showed up and knocked his ass down. Then Beth Phoenix showed up and speared her down to the ground. Oh, that was... Whew. Yeah, that was some good shit, man. Good shit. You just know it's building to some awesome Beth Phoenix versus Ripley match down the line. Down the line. This is gonna be fire. Woo, man. Yeah. So, yeah. It also, I love the Rumble because it's not just one guy's story, because that rarely ever fucking works. That I mean, it worked for Ric Flair. Like, one guy had a story going into the Rumble. Everyone was just trying to win. That worked for Ric Flair. You know, it's not fair to Flair. That shit worked. It did not work for Roman Reigns when they tried to build the entire Rumble around him. Like, in I think 2015, when they were doing like the one versus all, that didn't work because he was out of action for most of the match. So yeah. And but this one just had a bunch of stories. It had, Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins. It had Austin Theory, and damn, it had Brock versus Lashley. It set up a bunch of things, man. It had Edge and Judgment Day. So many things were going on. Speaking of Brock, he came back and he immediately starts suplexing everybody. Like, suplex, it's like he's the Oprah Winfrey of suplexes, man. You get a suplex, and you. Hey, don't think I forgot about you. Oh, shit, man. It was great seeing Brock back and have him wrecking shop again. Before he got eliminated by Bobby Lashley, I mean, when he came in, like, when Bobby Lashley hit the ring and speared him, it was like, oh yeah, man, finally, I don't mean like finally Lashley got one over on Brock. He's gotten one over on Brock before, but it's like, yeah, payback, man. The thing is, Lashley can get one over on Brock, but in the past, it was done in a way that, okay, Lashley got one over, but it was done in a way that protected Brock. Like, yeah, you got one over on him, but you had help. You know what I'm saying? It was never clean, oh, Lashley got one over on Brock just because he's Bobby Lashley and he can do that, But it's setting up a match between the two and it's going to be good. Like, so Lashley eliminated Brock and Brock was furious. He ripped the banner off the announce table and chucked it in there. It almost hit Lashley. He looked around like, huh? What's this? Oh, it was a banner from the table. He didn't say that. I'm just thinking, if he had to have said that, he had to have noticed. He would have been like, oh, banner from the announce table. Where did that come from? Oh, it's Brock chucking shit at the announce desk. He picked up the stairs, like the fucking steel steps, and he just threw them on the announce desk. He threw a fit. At around about the same time Baron Corbin was coming down to the ring. And then he just, fucking legged it. And he charged right into the dude. F5'd him. Almost like what happened with Heath Slater before Seth Rollins came down and tossed Corbin into the ring. And then dude immediately got eliminated after that. Like, wow, that fucking sucks. I mean... Yeah, JBL talking him up, modern day modern day wrestling god, he's all this. And weird thing they've been doing with Baron Corbin, they put him with JBL, and they make it seem like, okay, now we're gonna give him a push, we've put him with this legend, he's gonna get substantial screen time, he's got somebody who can speak for him, they're gonna do something with him, and yet they've been booking him like he's a fucking chump. Just, why? It's weird. Why do they do this? Why do they make it seem like, okay, we're gonna take this person seriously now, we're gonna do something with you, and then do fucking nothing? Same thing with Elias, man. They brought back Elias as his, Elias self, no more Ezekiel, and then for the last few months, he's done fucking nothing. He's been getting beat up more often than winning. Like, what's going on? It's like, we have a plan for select few people, but everyone else, sure, we'll put you on TV, but other than that, we kind of have nothing for you. Just, anyway, moving on from that, it's not really the point. What happened there? What else happened in the match, aside from Brock losing his shit and fucking some shit up? But yeah, Kofi Kingston got in there, and, he went off the barricade, and thing is, you could see this was definitely one of those, oh, Kofi just narrowly escapes elimination spots that they were trying to create, but it didn't work. I guess he was supposed to land on a chair that was by the announce desk, like Xavier Woods brought out a chair, but then like he landed awkwardly and ended up falling off the fucking thing. But when he landed, he looked like, wait, 1 foot didn't touch the ground, but like, yeah, they mentioned that. The announcer mentioned that. Like, he's still in the Rumble, like, 1 foot didn't hit the ground. Yet, they never went back to him. When the camera cut back to a wide shot to show the area where he was fucking gone. So, did he botch the ending? Was that what was supposed to happen? Was he eliminated and everyone just thought he wasn't? Was he not eliminated and everyone thought he was? So he like put his foot down and ended up eliminating himself like when he wasn't. Like, no one knows, man. Is he still in the match? Like, I don't know, man. Just the weirdness of it all. Just jeez, dude. Just, I don't know. This is the second year where Kofi Kingston he didn't botch. Like, this is accident. This is an accident. This happened by mistake. Like, but this, the guy who normally narrowly escapes elimination has been eliminated really easily 2 years now. Yeah, man. Hey, man, next year is always around. Better luck next year. I hope he gets it, man. I hope he has an amazing comeback next year. Yeah, what's next? Gunther lasted the longest out of everyone in the match. I mean, he came in at number 1 and went all the way to like the final 2. And then commentary was like, this is the first time in the history of the Rumble where the number 1 entrant and the number 30 entrant were in the ring like at the same time. You know, they know it was the first time they were the last 2 people. The first guy in and the last guy in were the last people in the ring. That never happened before this. Cool. You know, Cody Rhodes eventually eliminated Gunther. There were moments, you know, like, there were moments in there where they were like, oh shit, like, Gunther might, it definitely seemed like it. But then Cody Rhodes won, and it was awesome, dude. It was awesome seeing Cody Rhodes win. Such a feel-good moment, you know, like, I remember I wrote down and said, I'm glad Cody Rhodes won. It was predictable. But sometimes things are predictable because they feel right. And Cody Rhodes winning felt right. It was absolutely the right call. I know there's people out there who are like, Sami Zayn should have been in there. But, you know, he's got other shit coming down the line. You know, later in this very night, having him in this match wouldn't make sense. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention that Dominic Mysterio was in the match and the whole commentary team kept calling him a punk. Like, they were like, this punk kid, like, this kid's a real piece of shit. Like, yeah, he didn't go to jail. Like, who the fuck is... Like, if you have your commentary team regularly shit on this dude, like, how is anyone gonna take this dude seriously? The commentary team regularly shits on him every time he appears. Then, fucking, like, that's really just lowering his stock. Like, you're not talking down anything he's done. You're just calling him a punk for the sake of like, hey man, this guy's a punk. He does all this punk bitch moves. Like, just, oh fuck, man. Why should I take him seriously if y'all don't take him seriously? Just whatever, man. Whatever. But I'm glad he had his moments in the match. You know, he had like there was some good character shit going on in that match. Anyway, Men's Royal Rumble, 8.5 out of 10. You know, right man won. Everything just worked in that match. The stuff with Strowman and Omos, the stuff with Strowman and Gunther, everything just, you know, it was alright. It was right. It was alright. Pitch black match. Woo! Oh, that part. Yeah, that's gonna be that's gonna be an interesting topic. Moving on to the Mountain Dew pitch black match. And now it's your Mountain Dew honey mustard fucking Snickers. Wait a minute, scratch that shit, scratch that. I was trying to do the hot dog in grandstanding Jay Hunter for a minute, but that didn't work. So I'm just gonna call it what it is. It's the Mountain Dew pitch black match. I didn't think anything of this, man. I had no idea what a pitch black match was. I thought it was gonna be like a lights out match, you know? They would kill the lights, and that would be it. It would just be like a no DQ match, but they've killed all the lights except the light shining in the ring. That's what I was expecting. That is not what was delivered. No, what was delivered was a lot more interesting, weirdly enough. So LA Knight comes down. Yellow gear. Okay, sure, whatever. Everything looks normal. Then Bray Wyatt comes down with his lamp, He's got a little bit of face paint going on around the eyes, but other than that, he still looks like Bray Wyatt. And then the lights change. Then everything fucking changes. Oh my god, everything changed. The damn lights changed. Suddenly LA Knight's yellow gear was green. And the ropes were a different color. Mountain Dew logo appeared in the middle of the ring. Everything was lit differently. Fucking Wyatt had paint all over him. It wasn't just like the paint around his eyes. It was everywhere. It was him. Like those shows where people come in to like hotel rooms and shine blue light and find mysterious stains all over the couch and bed. It was like that, except it was everywhere. Jesus. Oh man, the light definitely made things a little more fun. Everything had different lighting to it. It had like a green and purple and like yellow and then whatever. It was lit. The lighting just added to how fun it all was, man. Like LA Knight grabbed a candlestick and it didn't look like an ordinary candlestick. It was green and purple and they had a spot where they crashed through a table and these like bright like neon green flakes just flew up out of nowhere. Like what is this stuff? Where did this come from? What the so much goofy shit. This match is goofy, but in a good way, man. The lighting makes it goofy. If there was no lighting, this would just be a match. This would just be a no DQ match. It'd be okay, but like it's nothing we haven't seen before. The lighting really changes it up, though, man. Oh yeah, I did definitely give it a 7. The match on its own, without the lighting, would be like a 7 out of 10. But then the aftermath with Wyatt stalking LA Knight, and he had this mask on. This creepy as fuck mask, man. And it was seriously like, it was like something out of a damn slasher movie. I remember I wrote this down, like, the match was 7 out of 10. But then the aftermath, Wyatt stalking LA Knight, like a slasher movie villain. Like, just, that was, he just, he was this old, indestructible fiend self. Because the thing is, in the match, Bray Wyatt could take damage. Yeah, he could get injured, I mean, he could get beaten down. He could, take moves and whatever. But, when, I think is this wasn't no one-sided affair. It wasn't like when he fought, I don't know, it was Miz or whatever. It was a proper, like match, like it was some back and forth. LA Knight got his stuff in, Wyatt got his stuff in, and then thing is that I don't like when I sometimes don't like it when a match seems to be getting good and then the finish comes out of nowhere. I need to feel like you build to it somehow, or you set up the finish. I don't need a moment where like things seems cool and then BAM! Sister Abigail, 1, 2, 3. I felt like the match was kind of short. Like I would have liked, like maybe 3-4 minutes more of it. Like what other shenanigans they can get up to. Is there a bright glowing like chair with funky stuff written on it? Like, is there? We don't know because they didn't pull out a chair. They brawled at ringside. They brawled around the ring. I love when fighters do this. I love no disqualification matches that don't stay in the ring. When you have a last man standing match and you end the fight outside of the ring or like backstage, whatever, I immediately hold that match in a higher regard than if you'd ended a fucking last man standing match in the ring or a false count anywhere match in the ring. Like, it's false count anywhere. Why are you ending the match in the ring? If it's gonna end in the ring, then just make it a fucking no DQ match. Just make it a no DQ match instead of false count anywhere. If you're just gonna end the match in the damn ring. Anyway, afterwards, Uncle Howdy shows up and he dives off the top of this stage onto fucking LA Knight, and Wyatt stands there above them all. Pyro goes off, and it's like, what is happening? I don't know. There was a section in the promo for the match where like Uncle Howdy attacked Bray Wyatt, and LA Knight was saying like, "What is going on?" Oh shit! Oh, but yeah, it was fun, dude. This is a solid 8.2 out of 10, dude. I mean, Uncle Howdy made it 8. Like the neon lighting made it a 7. It made it 7. The appearance of Uncle Howdy adding to that made it 8. But like the overall, like what I actually got out of this match, but we had no idea what to expect, it definitely made it an 8.2. A solid match. Would rewatch. After that came Bianca Belair and Alexa Bliss, which is, I'm sad to report, is the weakest match on this entire pay-per-view. Like, it's not the worst, it's just the weakest. There are no bad matches on this pay-per-view, it's just the least impressive, because they sort of just had a match. The match didn't need a stipulation, it's just, with all the shit going on about, like, how Alexa Bliss has, like, a more sinister side now, and the external forces of Uncle Howdy, they didn't really play much of an impact, and, like, they didn't really do much. Bianca Belair and Alexa Bliss just sort of had a match. It didn't even have like the wackiness of their last match, which was just a beat for beat recreation of a scene from Scary Movie. It was just, it was like AJ Styles versus Shinsuke Nakamura, The build going into this match was better than the match. The match that was promised in the build was better than the match that was delivered. But this isn't a bad match by any means. It's good. It just never got into that third gear where the two participants are just busting out, match-ending moves trying to put the other down. It's like as they were getting into that, it just, Bianca Belair hits the KOD, and that's that. It's by no means a bad match. It just felt a little short. Again, the matches between the Rumbles felt short, and I'm just saying, it could have been better. The Pitch Black match was good. I don't look at that match and go, oh, that could have been better. I say, like, no, that could have been longer. It could have been better by just making it a little bit longer. This match could have been longer and done more. You could have done more. Even if it wasn't longer, you could have done more in that time. I say that not to say like these women perform bad matches. I say that because I've seen them do better. I know they are capable of doing better. Even with each other, man, they've been in situations where they've shared the ring and they've delivered better matches. So I know they can do better. So yeah, to see them not, especially when it's just them, it's kind of disappointing. 6.9 out of 10. Just really, whatever. Now on to the best part of the show. This is my favorite part of this whole shebang, y'all. The Women's Royal Rumble. And now we have the Women's Royal Rumble match. In this match, 30 women will come in, and the match ends when 29 have been tossed out, and there's one person left standing. That person will head on to main event WrestleMania. Oh wait, that's the men's match. This is the women's match. So that one person will head on to WrestleMania for the title of their choosing. And on this very Rumble, this year was the one where like, oh yes, I had one person I was rooting for. And that one person made it all the way through. Oh man. Now, this is not the first time this has happened. I mean, more often than not, when I have one person I'm rooting for, that person makes it all the way through, but they don't win. This is the first time that, like, I was rooting for somebody, and they won! Holy shit! She won! The Eradicator won! Yeah! That is not my voice. Anyway, yeah, man! The Eradicator of Judgment Day! Dominic Mysterio's mommy, the Nightmare, Rhea Ripley, the 2023 Women's Royal Rumble winner! Yeah, the right woman won. Everything went. Man, I can't even begin to tell you how excited I am. I can't even begin to. Let me just. Right out of the gate, this match, 10 out of 10. Rhea Ripley wins. The Eradicator is going to WrestleMania. Other things happened in the match, not just that. She started from number 1, and number 2 was Liv Morgan. There was plenty of history between her and Liv Morgan dating back to their days as Liv for Brutality, my favorite women's tag team, to this day. To this day! My favorite women's tag team. Yeah, it sucked when they broke up, but on the upside, out of that breakup, we got Rhea Ripley and Judgment Day, and all the awesomeness that happened because of that. We also got Liv Morgan's run with the SmackDown Women's title. As lackluster as that ending was, and as fickle as the fucking fans were, that was awesome outlasted. But yeah, those two made it all the way to the end. It was also the first time the women's Royal Rumble, number 1 and number 2, were the last two people. I think that was the first time in the history of the Rumble where number 1 and number 2 were the last two people in the ring. Shit. Woo. So many things to mention. Well, Dewdrop is back to being Piper Niven. But commentary still makes hey, do you think she's gonna drop the M down on these people or some shit like that? They kept making dewdrop jokes like wink wink, get it? Because she used to be named Dewdrop, nudge nudge, wink wink. That's what those jokes were. They were fucking annoying, man. This is some Jerry Lawler shit, man. Like, Michael Cole is not Jerry Lawler. Stop trying to be. Damn. Other than that, there was some genuine surprises in this Rumble, like Chelsea Green. Chelsea Green, man. You don't know who that is? You know Matt Cardona? Yeah, she's alive. And Chelsea Green had a brief stint in WWE. She was there for like a week. She injured her arm, and then while she was recovering, they fired her. So that was bullshit. Apparently, there was a plan for her to have a feud where she would become obsessed with Mickie James in a reversal of what happened between Mickie and Trish. And that sounds like a cool idea. But before it could make it to TV, they shit-canned it and moved her to SmackDown, where she was then injured and then disappeared. What a fucking disaster, man. That's a really cool idea. That could have been great. Why didn't you do that? That would have been a great way to, reboot an old idea, like how they rebooted the Balls Mahoney and Kelly thing into Mandy Rose and Otis, Shit, they could have rebooted the Trish Stratus Mickie James thing to Mickie James and Chelsea Green, but they fudged it up. Anyway, speaking of Chelsea Green, she now holds the record for shortest time spent in a Rumble. She immediately got in the ring and was immediately tossed out by Ripley. Ripley went on a tear in this match. There was a moment where B-Fab came in. She had 2 moves and then got busted up by Rhea Ripley. When I say busted up, I mean proper busted up. Not like a bruise, I mean bleeding. When she got tossed out, the commentators were like, hey, some of B-Fab's makeup smeared on Rhea Ripley. And then when the camera pans to Rhea Ripley, we realized that ain't makeup, that's blood. Holy shit. B-Fab got busted up. Damn, man. Her time in that Rumble and the Hit Rose time since they've been back quickly summed up what they've done and what they've accomplished. What have they done since coming back? What has Hero done since coming back to the Rumble? 0. What accomplishments have they done? 0. What titles have they won? 0. How many minutes did B-Fab spend in the match? 0. I'm sure that's not entirely true. She spent 1 minute in there. But still, yo. Shit. What else? Michelle McCool was in here. Weird, because earlier I heard that, people were excited, hey, you're going to be in the Royal Rumble this year? And she said she hasn't received any calls. She hasn't been invited or whatever. But then her music hits. And, she was sitting in the crowd watching the show. It's oh, okay. Stood up, took off her jacket and hopped in. Yeah, this is you wrestled pretty good for somebody who had no idea that they were even going to be in the match, This isn't like JBL when he found out he was in and he had to walk his way in from commentary and, immediately get hoofed out. No, she hung in there for a while. Anyway, afterwards, another cool thing that happened was Nia Jax returned. She's not like most girls. She's Nia freaking Jax. The Irresistible Force came back. Holy soap, dude. Oh, this is gonna be good. And you knew it was a big deal. You knew it was a big deal because the moment that music played, everybody stopped. When I say everybody, I mean everybody. Everybody fucking stopped what they were doing. People who were attacking each other stopped attacking. People who were trying to eliminate each other just stopped and they stared. They were like, oh shit. The Dewdrop and Tabita stuck away in there. And they all were like, whoa, whoa, whoa. This is like, stop. You need to, we gotta take a look at this. We need a minute. Like, this is a big fucking deal. We can't just, I mean, Tamina and Dewdrop can square up to each other, but like, individually, they can't be squaring up to Nia Jax, man. Like, what the, everybody knew that, like, this is gonna be tough. This is a big fucking deal, man. It's like in the men's rumble when Big Show would walk in or something. Everybody stops what they're doing to be like, oh shit, the Big Show's coming. He could clobber us all. And as she was making it to the ring, they listed all the accomplishments. Like, she won the women's title. She busted up Becky Lynch's nose. Like, all that shit. She got in there. And she stood there, right? She was like, I'll run this shit. She started talking trash. It's like, do something. I dare you all to do something. And they all just jumped. They all just jumped her at once. She like powered out of there, like like in Matrix Reloaded when Keanu Reeves powers out of that mountain and it's like, it was, oh shit, it was good. It was so funny, dude. It was so cool watching that moment. And then she terrorized through that. She just terrorized that rumble. But then one by one, Liv Morgan attacks, then Asuka attacks, then Ripley hits the Riptide. Raquel Gonzalez tried to do a slam but couldn't quite get it. But then once Ripley hit that Riptide, she started directing traffic like, get her out of here. And they all teamed up to heave this huge woman out of there. And it was a team effort from everybody. It took 11 women to heave this woman out of there. And when she got out there, she was like, oh, I see you. I was like, she didn't say that, but the way she was looking at him, it's like, all of you. I'm coming after all of you bitches. Better believe that. This ain't over. No, it's just beginning. I'ma get you. I'ma get you, and you, and you. Oh, shit. But yeah, this match was a lot of fun to watch. Let me just say that, man. And that's the signal for the crazy shit to kick in. I almost forgot. Asuka, the Empress of Tomorrow, is came back with a new mask. And not only that, but she had new gear. And not only that, she had this crazy looking new face paint. Granted, Asuka already had crazy looking face paint. But this is cinematic shit. Damn. It was blue, it was black, it was white, it was fucking awesome. My hair was blue and red. The gear was black, blue, and yellow. Man, it was so cool. So cool. Anyway, I'm really glad Asuka's back. I love that Rhea Ripley won the Rumble. Hell, shit, I had notes on this shit. So just, I'm kind of pressed for time, so I gotta do Women's Rumble, 10 out of 10. Rhea Ripley wins. The Eradicator is going. It's all WrestleMania. MamiMania is running wild. Other notes, Dewdrop is back to being Piper Niven, but still has Dewdrop music for her entrance, and commentary team kept saying fucking hokey shit about, they kept making jokes that started with the word do and ended with the word drop. Like, do you see how she dropped them? Yeah, wink, fucking wink, nudge, elbowing you right in the goddamn rib cage so hard that it hits a lung. Jesus Christ. There was some genuine surprises in the Rumble, like Chelsea Green showing up. Holy crap, Mike Cardona's wife showed up in the Rumble for like 5 seconds, setting up a Royal Rumble record. That was nice. Funny, Michelle McCool came in from the crowd. Nia Jax returned. It wasn't like JBL. She didn't JBL this shit. Nia Jax returned, which was awesome. Asuka and Liv Morgan got eliminated last. I really love Asuka's new look. I've stated this before. Love what Liv Morgan's been doing this year. I love all this shit. I love the whole Women's Rumble, man. I love that shit. From the NXT women showing up. So much thing. It would have been better. Just skosh better if Nikita Lyons got in there somehow. That would have been awesome, but I know she's injured, and that's not really a possibility. So, yeah. So, yeah, it was amazing. Still amazing. Could have been a skosh better. Just skosh. But, yeah. Yeah, so glad we won. Best Women's Rumble I've seen since since the first one. Shit, best women's Rumble since the first one. Not to say that the ones afterwards have been duds. It's just, I love Becky Lynch getting the Daniel Bryan treatment that Daniel Bryan didn't get. I wasn't really a fan of Charlotte Flair winning the Rumble because Charlotte Flair didn't, let's be honest, Charlotte Flair does not need to win the Royal Rumble to get a title shot. Her current SmackDown Women's title run is proof of that. Charlotte Flair does not need to qualify. She could just cash in her "because I'm Charlotte Flair" in the bank contract. She inherited that shit from John Cena, cashing in his "because I'm John Cena" contract. How he would be out for months and then just come back and immediately granted a fucking title shot. Like he injured his arm and then he just returned to challenge for the world title against Chris Jericho. Or how I think it was 2013. He injured his arm, dropped to Daniel Bryan, took some time off, then came back and was immediately granted a world title shot against Del Rio. Just cause, cashing in his John Cena in the bank contract. Oh shit. Oh well. I guess CM Punk was right about the whole, you don't get to win. There's those people out there explain how a guy like a submission specialist like Daniel Bryan can be booked in fucking comedy segments. Anyway, man, I'm getting off topic. None of that matters right now. 10 out of 10 for this women's Royal Rumble. On to the men's match. The main event. Roman Reigns versus Kevin Owens, 7.7 out of 10. This wasn't the weakest match on the show. That was Ballet versus Bliss, but the match had its moments. And the eventual Sammy turns on Roman, like how Heyman turned on Roman a year ago thing, that was nice. I love that finally kicked off. I would have preferred if they'd saved Sammy turning on Roman for WrestleMania. The biggest stage, biggest crowd. It would have the biggest pop, whatever. After the match, the Usos make the move to give Sammy his red, lays, like everyone else that's making him a full-blooded member of the Bloodline. But instead, it's Roman's wait, let's kick this guy's ass first. Let's beat him up some more. And Sammy tries to stop him, come on, you don't have to do this, you don't have to do this. And then Roman's you're right, I don't have to do this, you do. Gives him a fucking chair, and he's wait, what? What'd you think was gonna happen, dude? Did you think, you could stop Roman Reigns from being on this dude and y'all would just leave after all the shit he's done, all the shit talking he's done, all the crap he's done to you? Then Roman actually makes a compelling argument about this guy has done nothing but this guy's been treating you like shit ever since he came in here, since day one. Literally his first day in the company was him putting you on the fucking shelf, and you're defending this dude. And since he came on the main roster, he's been making your life hell. All he's done has made you miserable in some way or another. And you're still defending this fucking guy? We your family, we your blood, Just do what I tell you and beat this dude's ass. And he hesitated. Then Roman got fucking mad and he shoved him a bunch of times. And then Sammy finally hit him in the back. And then he got jumped. The whole fucking Bloodline except Jay, man. The unsung hero in all of this was definitely Jey Uso, because he was the only one who didn't want to attack Sammy. Despite all these months leading up to Survivor Series, he was the one guy in the Bloodline who didn't trust Sami Zayn. He was the one guy in the Bloodline who was thinking Sammy shouldn't be here. He hated Sammy the most. And now that he's seemingly proven right, it was nah, I'm out, man. I'm out of this. Shit. It was he came across as genuinely conflicted and upset about what was going on, and he didn't say anything. So, yeah, I love that. This match itself was a 7 out of 10, but Jey Uso's performance during all this, along with the aftermath, makes it a 7.7 out of 10. So, as a total, the Royal Rumble 2023 gets a 41.3 out of 50, which gives it an 8.26 out of 10. Yeah. That's my thoughts on this year's Royal Rumble. This has been the S&W EXP Reviews. Goodbye, good luck, and can't wait for Raw. This has been the best Royal Rumble of the last, of years, man. Best Royal Rumble since 2019, I think. Shit, I love this match. I love the winners, I love the pitch black match, some of the matches felt a little short. One match was disappointing, but overall, definitely a great show. Would rewatch, would recommend, all that shit. Yeah. Peace. Anyway, I'm really glad Oscar's back. I love that Rhea Ripley won the...
Hey kid, don't ever let them get inside your head. They'll tell you what to do in life instead of everything you know that you could get. Don't let them guide your life towards regret. I'll fight for what I love with every breath. My past is filled with things I won't forget. I use them all to push me to my best. So treat the worst of times just like a test. If only I could go back in time, I'd tell myself that everything will end up alright. Just push yourself, test yourself, figure out what you like, and find your limits, don't be rigid, always work towards a prime. Surround yourself with open minds, people can change your life. A few friends with intent can help you feel alive. Find a passion, take some action, and with a little time, just be patient, make a statement, try to enjoy your life. They'll try to kick you while you're down. They wanna rise up while you drown. They wanna fill your head with doubt. They're silently scared that you'll figure it out. I'll make it look like I'm losing, won't bother hiding my bruises. And when they finally think you're wounded, then it's your chance to be ruthless.